Hi everyone! Welcome back to the Vietnamese Language Learning Program presented by AéVSA of the University of Ottawa and Carleton University. In this video, we'll be going over numbers. Hello, chào bạn. My name is Brenda Nguyen. Tên tôi là Brenda Nguyen. I'm a member of AéVSA, một thành viên của AéVSA. In today's video, we'll be going over a range of numbers. We'll start off with numbers 0 through 10, as well as numbers 11 through 20. And then we will go over the tens, the hundreds, the thousands, the millions, and the billions, as well as the rules that go along with them. Then we will go over some combinations and some examples, and then we will sum up all the rules and patterns that we learned at the end. So let's get started. All right, so I've listed here the numbers 0 through 10. One thing to remember and note is that the word number in Vietnamese is số. So this works the same way as you would in English. So if you want to say number 1, number 2, you just put the word số in front of the number that you want to work with. So số 1, số 2, same thing. So that's something to remember going forward because it works for all numbers. All right, let's go through them. So 0, không, pretty straightforward. So if you want to say 0, sometimes you could say số không, but if you're counting, không is just good enough. 1, so this is 1, 1. 2 is hai, hai. 3 is ba, ba. 4 is bốn, bốn. Now, something to note here is if you went through our dates and months video, you will notice that the word Wednesday is thứ tư, and the month of April is tháng tư, and it's not using the word bốn, even though they are the fourth day or the fourth month. So just be aware that the number 4 has a second word. It's not as commonly used because there are exceptions to when you can use it. So I did not list it here, but just be aware that there are 2 words for the number 4. But when you're counting, bốn is the most correct word that you can use. So moving on, 5 is năm, năm. 6 is sáu, sáu. 7, bảy, bảy. 8 is tám, tám. 9 is chín, and 10 is mười, mười. All right, so now we've gone through 0 through 10, super basic. Moving on to numbers 11 through 20. So here we have a new pattern, as you can probably see. We add a prefix mười, so for 10, to each number because each of these numbers is just adding 10 to it. So we'd add a little prefix at the beginning to represent that. So yeah, let's go through them. So 11 is 11. So adding 10 to 1, 11. 12 is 12. 13, 13. 14, 14. 15, 15. So here you'll notice that we didn't say 15. So the number 5 is năm, but moving forwards from 15 through 95, we replace the L with the N with an L. So 15. This is just so that it rolls off the tongue a bit better, and it's just to avoid confusion. So just remember that moving forwards for numbers that are greater than 5. 16 is 16. 17, 17. 18, 18, 19, 19, and 20, 20. So you'll notice 20 follows a different pattern. Instead of a prefix of 10, we're putting it as a suffix. And we're not saying 10 with a dip. It's just 10, 20. This is a pattern that we'll see going forward for the tens. So we'll go into that a bit in detail later, but you'll see it first here. All right, so we went through the first 20 numbers, and let's just review some of the rules and patterns that we've seen. So for numbers 11 through 19, we're adding 10 as a prefix. So 11, 12. The word nam for 5 is replaced by lam for the number 15. So 15. And for the tens going forward, and as we've seen with 20 so far, we add 10 as a suffix. So like 20. A new rule that we'll see as we go forward is the word một for 1 is replaced with the word một. So it means the same thing, it's just a different pronunciation. So một, so 21, and we'll see that in the next slide. So here are our tens. So I've listed 20 through 90. So it's the same rule. We're adding 10 as a suffix, and we're putting the number in front. So 20 for 20. 30 is 30. 40 is 40. 50 is 50. 60 is 60. 70 is 70. 80 is 80, and 90 is 90. So same pattern, just putting 10 at the end of it because there are multiples of 10. Now to add with different numbers, all you just do is add with the number that you'd like. And we'll see in these examples. 21 is 20 for 20 and 1 for 1. So like I said earlier, the number 1 going forward from 20 onwards will not be mo, which is a dipping heavy sound. It will be like a higher sound. So mo. So 21 is 21. 32 is 32. So 30 and 2, 32. 43 is 43. 54 is 54. 65 is 65. So note the number 5 there is with an L, so 65. 76 is 86. 87 is 87. And 91 is 91. There again we see with the changed 1 in the pronunciation. 91. So we've made it through the first 100 numbers. Now we'll move on to bigger numbers, 100s, 1000s, millions, and billions. So 100 is trăm. 1000 is ngàn or nghìn. The difference is that ngàn is used in the south and nghìn is used in the north. Both words are correct, so you can use either or. Million is triệu, the heavy sound, triệu. Billion is tỷ, tỷ. All right, so now we can put it together with some other numbers. It works the same way, just like 10, where you're just combining the numbers that we've seen together into the number that you want. One thing to note with numbers that are greater than 100, so 100 and greater, is that when you have, and I'll put this in quotes, single digits, So when you add them with numbers from 1 through 9, so for example, like 109, 2002, 1,000,004, something like that, you must use the word lẻ, bolded there, lẻ, in front of the number. So we'll see some examples. So 101, 100, so 100, 101. So see there, we put lẻ in front of một, in front of one, to signify that it's just one. 101. 2009 is 2009. So again, we're using the word lẻ in front of the word 9. 2009. This next example doesn't have any single digits in it, so we don't need it. So 40 million is 40 triệu. So again, we're 40 for 40 and triệu for million. 40 triệu. The fourth example is 3,000,001,000. So 3 billion, 3 tỷ, and 1, 01, 3 tỷ 01. All right, so moving on to more examples of big numbers. So again, it's just combining numbers, and sometimes it's almost a straight translation, but just be careful about that. But otherwise, it's just a combination. So let's go through it. So 407, 400 for 400, 07, 407. 2012, 2000 for 2000, 12 for 12, 2012. 65,100, 65 for 65, 65,000 for 65,100, 100, 65,100. 23,540, 23,540, 987, 987. So on to the next column, we have 12,900,000, 12 triệu, 900, 543,000, 543,000. The next one is a big number, 119 billion. So 119 for 119, tỷ for billion. 119 tỷ. This next one is also a big one, 32,543,093. 32 triệu, 543,093. So 32 million, 32 triệu. 543,000 is 543,093, 93. And lastly, we have 76,040, 76,040. Our next set of examples is in the thousands, because these are years that you might come up with, I guess. So if you watched our dates and months video, we went over years briefly. So we'll go over years a bit more here. So 1,999, also known as 1999, follows the same procedure. 1900, so 1900, 99, 99. 2012 or 2012 is 2012. 2005, 2005, we're using lẻ. 2005. 1987 or 1987 is 1987. 1935 or 1935, 1935. The next column, 2001, 2001. 2010 or 2010, 2010, 1800, 1800, 1975 or 1975, 1975, and our current year, 2021 or 2021, is 2021. All right, so let's sum up all the rules and patterns that we've seen. So adding 10 as a prefix for numbers 11 through 19, so 11, 12, 13. Number 1 is pronounced as mot instead of mot for numbers 21 through 91. So 21, 31. The word for 5 for the numbers 15 through 95 is now pronounced as lam, not nam. So 15, 25, 35. And the number 10 is pronounced as 10 for numbers 20 through 99. So 20, 30, 60. And for single digits added to a big number, it must be preceded by the word lẻ. So 101, 101. 102, 102. So that's something to remember. Thank you so much for watching. Cảm ơn bạn nhiều. Now it's your turn to test your knowledge. We have a self-paced quiz down below so that you can try. There are unlimited attempts on it, and it was a great way for you to test your knowledge. So feel free to come back and visit this video and go over the different rules for the different numbers. And yeah, thank you so much.